Hello, darlings. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I'm here today with 90 Day Fiancé UK Season 4, Episode 2. I'll have six wives. You'll be the first. If I was going to give this episode a grade, I would give it a solid B plus. I am thoroughly enjoying 90 Day UK so far, but it's only episode 2, so we'll see how I will be feeling in the next few episodes. So, 90 Day UK has been amusing me. I've actually been staying awake for these episodes, unlike Happily Ever After, which I fall asleep halfway through, but that's another story for another video. So, darlings, let's start off with Shannon, darling. She was last seen in the airport in last episode, and Mete wasn't there. She flew all the way from the UK to Turkey, darling, and she keeps calling his phone, darling, and it's going straight to voicemail. And she doesn't understand what the fuck is going on. And she's like, I guess I'm going to have to go back home. The whole reason why I came to Turkey was to be with him. And then suddenly you see him running across the airport, flowers in hand. I'm here, darling, I'm here. Why wasn't he answering his phone? Well, when he went out last night with his cousin, his phone died. He doesn't have a charger, blah, blah, blah. But I'm here now, darling. I'm here now. And she's like, how could I be mad at him? How I could be mad at my darling? These two grate my nerves, okay? And it's only episode 2. But there's underlying issues with these two that make me worried as well. So, they're driving back to his house, and she's questioning him about going out with his friends. And he's like, darling, I promise I will never do that again. Darling, darling, darling. And they get to his house. Darling, take off your shoes. Let's go to bed. Who's turning off the light, darling? And then they go to bed. The next morning, with the darlings, they wake up together. Good morning, darling. Good morning, darling. Do you see how, like, irritating these two are? Okay. So, the one thing I noticed, actually, one of you guys pointed it out to me, Lily Lady. I appreciate that. But I've noticed that her accent changes when she speaks to him. Okay. And in different scenes, she has like a different accent. She also, a lot of the times, doesn't use full sentences when she's talking to him. Like she talks to him in broken English. And I don't know if she's doing it on purpose to make it simpler for him to understand since English is not his first language. But, darling, he repeats everything she says like a parrot. Okay? She says, I love you, darling. I love you too, darling. You are the greatest, darling. You are the greatest, darling. Let's go out to dinner. Let's go out to dinner, darling. I bet you she could say, darling, my poop is green. And he would say, darling, my poop is green. So he's the parrot. I'm not quite sure where her accents are coming from, why they're changing, and like every other scene. But these darlings are so annoying. After they went out, he made her breakfast. When they walked out of the house, even the street cat didn't even want to be petted by the darlings. Okay, so by they walked down by the water because this is like her favorite place to be, and it's so sunny and the weather's great. And she expresses that her friend Jay has some concerns about him. And one of Jay's major concerns is that, you know, Mete, darling, could be using her just for a visa. And this was his reaction, okay? He is not happy about this. He's like, who the fuck is this Jay person? Jay does not know me at all. Jay is discriminating against me, which and technically he is right because him and Jay haven't even had a conversation. And Jay is already concluding that he's a scam, that he could be a scammer using darling Shannon just to get a visa to the UK. So I think rightfully so that he was angry, but he's scary when he's angry. Okay. And I think this is a huge red flag. I'm not saying don't get angry. Okay. But I mean, just his tone, his demeanor, the way he was talking to her. At one point, she was nodding in agreement with him. Okay. He was like bashing her bestie, and she's like nodding in agreement, almost like a DV victim would. Okay, she looked scared shitless. I'm like, girl, darling. So he knew that he fucked up. So he came back and brought their favorite food, her favorite food. Okay. He was like, I'm going to make up to my darling for being basically not so nice to her earlier. So I'm going to bring her this stuff and we're going to make up. So this looked really good. I was like, wow. It looked like some pita bread type concoction that they rolled up and they started eating. And of course, right at the moment she takes her first bite, who calls her? Her bestie Jay, the one that her and her darling had an argument over in the morning. Can we say producer driven? Well, anyway, he's like, darling, why don't you answer? And she's like, I don't want to answer right now, darling. We're eating. And he's like, darling, do you not want to talk to him in front of me, darling? What is happening now, darling? Jay calls back and he's like, okay, we finished eating now, darling. Answer the phone so we can talk to him, me and you. Let's put the phone in between us and let's both have a conversation, darling. She wouldn't answer the phone and she actually had a meltdown and she ran out of the room and she's like, I don't want to see my best friend and the love of my life fight. Well, darling, it's going to happen, okay? Because Mete has a temper. We could all see this, darling, and he's not happy about what Jay had to say about him. So, yeah, this is going to turn into a shit show really soon. So, speaking of shit shows, we have Zena, okay, who is going out thrift clothes shopping with her bestie Lisa. Is she buying clothes for herself? No. She is heading to the Gambia in a couple of days, and Ambria's nieces and nephews need clothing. So she's going thrift store shopping for children's clothes, and she mentions that she already has her carry on suitcase filled to the top in children's clothes. Her friend Lisa's not liking this, okay? Lisa's like, how much money have you really sent him? So first it was just £300. Then recently she sent him £500, her friend Lisa is just like, I'm not feeling this guy, but I guess you do you. So then we get to meet Amria. Okay, he is 44. He is from Aga- the Gambia. Okay, and he is very athletic. He likes to run, work out. And when the producers asked him, "Do you think you'll have Xena run with you?" He said, "No, Xena is too old and fat." I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Okay, I mean that's basically what he said, that she was too old and fat to run with him. So he's his job is a waiter at one of the hotels, and they always try to get British guests because the salaries suck and British guests give really big tips. Okay, so he takes the ferry back home to his village to visit his mother and his sisters and brothers, and his family is really appreciative of Xena and the money that she has sent them. It was able to buy rice for the family to eat, but I'm afraid that he just sees her as a walking ATM. Okay. And there is the big difference, besides the age difference, you guys. Okay. Another big difference between the two of them is that he's Muslim, she's Christian. He doesn't drink, and she loves her drink. So, yeah, this is going to be a shit show. Now, her friend Lisa is really worried that he's like one of these scammers and that he's going to take all her money and take advantage of her. And um, she's like, I really wish that there was a way that we could look him up. And Zena's like, I have no idea how we'd even go about doing that. He doesn't have any social media, blah blah blah. So if you're wondering how much, 3,000 pounds, that's what Embria wants Zena to give him so he could buy a cab, is in American dollars, it's over $4,000. Okay, so that is a nice chunk of change that he is requesting from her, and no wonder why her bestie Lisa is like freaking out. Lisa's like, you sent him money. You're buying clothes for his whole family. Now he wants you to buy him a cab. It's like, what are you, a cash machine? So Zena's just hoping that he's not a scammer. But she's, like, I don't know how to look him up. I don't know how to do anything. Well, her granddaughter comes to the rescue. Her granddaughter Tilly comes over while she's packing. Okay. Tilly's like, Nan, what the hell is up with these bikinis? You could floss your teeth with some of these, you know. And Tilly's like, I really want her to be happy, but I don't want her to be scammed by someone and take all her money and shit. Okay. So this was her face when she realized that Embria does have a Facebook. And guess what? On his Facebook, he's single. Uh huh. And this is Tilly's expression when she checked his friends list and found a bunch of not so savory characters on it. She's like, Mom, do you know this woman? And it's like this woman with her legs spread open in lingerie. And Zena's like, No, I have no idea who that person is. So Tilly is really, really worried, okay, that Zena is going to get scammed. And Zena's like, I don't even know if I want to go right now. So things aren't looking too good for the two of them. And you know who else things are not looking good for? Chandra. She is on her way to Greece to see her man Adnan. The thing about Chandra, she did not tell Adnan that they cannot be intimate because she has been baptized into the Mormon church. And the last time they saw each other, they were intimate up and down in that lift in his building. So, yeah, he may be kind of like unhappy to find out about this because all he could think about it is kissing her and hugging her and loving on her. Well, once she got there and he went to go kiss her on the lips, she kept turning her face in every which way. And he is looking at her like, what the hell? The last time I saw you, we rode 10 times in the lift, and now I can't even kiss you on the mouth. So he's confused. Okay. He's like, this is like a different person. The chemistry isn't there, the energy isn't there. Where is the Chandra that I met? Okay. So you better enjoy holding her hand because that's basically all you're going to be able to do. And you better enjoy getting this close to her because this is the closest that you're going to be able to get to her. Because then she tells him that she has been baptized into the Mormon church, and that means no sex before marriage. That means no staying in the house together before marriage. I mean, I don't even think he could get in the same lift with her before marriage. Elevator. Okay, when I say the word lift, I mean elevator. That is the British word for elevator. And I decide I'm going to throw in some British terms. So, anyway, so he is shocked. He is shocked. He is appalled. And at first he thought she was joking. But then when he realized she wasn't joking, he was really mad. He's like, she didn't tell me about all these rules with her religion. She didn't tell me about her religion. I don't even know what a Mormon is. So, he was upset and confused. And he's like, "But why didn't you tell me about this before?" And I think her answer is bullshit. She said, "I wanted to wait to tell you in person." She had gotten baptized in September of the year before. So I'm assuming a nice time period passed before she visited him in person. And she knew that a nice chunk of time was going to pass before she saw him in person. Okay, she thought that by telling him in person would soften the blow, and maybe she would be able to manipulate and brainwash him into converting so then they can get married ASAP. But it blew up in her face. Okay, and we're going to get into that in a second. So that is the only reason why she didn't tell him on the phone, because he probably would have hung up on her and blocked her. So he's mad. He is really mad. He feels lied to. Okay. And he's like, you weren't honest with me, which is true. They have been in contact for quite a while, and she didn't mention a damn word. Okay. So now, remember last episode, she mentioned that he was Muslim, but he's not really a practicing Muslim. So that's why she had a glimmer of hope that she was going to be able to convert him. Well, he decides to pull the Muslim card. And this was really petty on his behalf, but he was pissed off, okay? And we all know we could be petty when we're mad. So he turns around and tells her, I'm Muslim, right? And being a Muslim, I could have 6 wives, and you could be the first one. And she's like, what? What the fuck is he talking about? And let me tell you, for a Mormon, she drops the F word a lot. And this is coming from me, that I drop the F bombs a lot. I'm like, holy shit, you're Mormon and you're dropping the F bomb like that? But anyway, she's like, what the fuck does he think who the hell does he think he's talking to? He's not having 6 wives, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so now he's like, I have to think about this. I don't know. I have to process this. It's going to be a long night. So now back at the house, I guess the next morning or whatever, he is floating in a unicorn floaty in the pool, which makes the scene even more surreal to me. And she comes out in, like, I don't know, this outfit, and I'm like, okay, this is not exactly a pool outfit, but okay. So he's like, we're not gonna get married now. Now that you're a baptized Mormon, I don't even know what a Mormon is. We're not gonna get married, okay? And he's like, and she says to him, I can't believe that sex is so important to you. Like, why is sex so important? And he says, it's not only the sex, it's yesterday when you first came and, we greeted each other. You were very cold to me. It was disrespectful. And she's like, no, I was trying to set boundaries so, you could see what the boundaries were. He had no idea why she was setting boundaries. Like I said, the last time they saw each other, they rode that elevator in his building, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay. So now it is reasonable for him to expect the same type of behavior, and they haven't seen each other in a long time. And now she's like, oh, I'm celibate. You can't even kiss me until we're married. And she didn't even bother giving him the heads up. And she shows up. He goes to passionately kiss her, and she's like, nope, nope, nope. Like, okay, do you blame him for being mad? I really don't. But she's like, what the fuck? She is in disbelief. And like her daughter says, she's fucking delusional. She really is. I say she is fucking delusional that she thought her 25-year-old boyfriend was going to be okay with her now converting to being a Mormon. No kissing, no sex, no sleeping in the same bed, nothing like that. And she was going to convert him. Delusional as fuck, okay? So he asks her, "Do you want your God? It's over your love." And she's like, "I can't believe you're making me choose." And she storms off. He's just going to sit there and just sunbathe some more, take in the positive energy of the sun, because honestly, I think Chandra did him dirty. Okay, I'm actually on Adnan's side in this, but it's only episode 2, so we shall see. So now, I just want to say the 90-day UK editing process and whoever is, doing these episodes, please don't ever do something like this again. Okay, they started off a segment and this dude was on the screen, and I was so distracted by the mask and the glasses and everything else. I wasn't listening to a word he was saying for the first 5 minutes. His name is Finn. He's 33 years old. What is up with the mask? Well, I think he said he was running for mayor or something in the town that he lived in, and he wanted to do it to bring a smile to people's faces. I don't even know. Like I said, I wasn't even listening to what he was saying for the first 5 minutes. I was trying to process this talking mask with glasses on my screen. I was like, what in the fuck is happening? But hey, 90 Day UK could be really quirky. So we have Finn. We have Finn in his really small car. Finn is taking his cat to the vet. His cat is his life, okay? And his cat hasn't been urinating properly, some hair loss. Well, you know something? Your cat is stressed. Why is your cat stressed? Because your cat is feeling your stress, Finn. And why are you stressed, Finn? Because it is coming up on the 2-year anniversary of your relationship with your beautiful girlfriend Sandra. Okay. And him and Sandra may have been only dating for 2 years, but they've known each other for over 16 years. Okay. Sandra was in a orphanage in Brazil, and his sister was a volunteer at the orphanage in Brazil. And him and his mom went to go visit his sister when he was 16, and Sandra was living there. And basically, they talked and whatever, and they had a connection. Nothing physical happened at all. He got her email address, and after a couple of years, they lost touch. Until one day, she accidentally called him, which I call producer bullshit on this one, okay? I mean, they hadn't been in contact in years. They only had each other's email addresses. And how did she accidentally call him? But she did, and they, rekindled their relationship. But Finn is under pressure, okay? Finn is under pressure because Sandra really wants a ring. But one, his mom is not too crazy about the relationship. She doesn't know if Sandra loves Finn for him or what he could provide. And secondly, he admits that he's not really ready to be a stepdad either. Okay. Sandra has 2 children, and she will do anything for her kids, especially with her history of growing up in the orphanage with her 8 brothers and sisters. What happened was her dad left her mom with 9 kids, and her mom couldn't afford them, so her mom dropped them off at the orphanage. So at the orphanage, all she had was her siblings. They are really, really close, and she will do anything to give her children a better life that she had, and a stable life at that. But like I said, Finn is not ready to be a stepdad. Finn couldn't even handle a fucking FaceTime call. When the kids were fighting in the background and they were screeching and this and that, he can't even handle a FaceTime call. Imagine trying to be a stepdaddy in person. So, what I have to say to you, Finn, is please let her go. Don't drag her on because her kids aren't going anywhere. It's not like she could just get rid of her kids and you and her be together happily ever after. No. So either put on your stepdaddy hat or let her go. Now, for the viewers of 90 Day Fiancé, who does Finn remind you of? I'm sitting here watching the episode, okay, and all I kept going, my goodness, they have cast the British version of Mike Burke. You guys remember Mike Burke? Yeah. So that's basically it. Thank you, everybody, for watching me. Please subscribe if you don't already. Double check that you are subscribed. Please like, share my video with a friend or 10. Please consider joining my membership and check out my merchandise. And 90 Day UK is streaming on Discovery Plus and Max. And right now, there are 4 episodes out. So I will get to all 4 for you guys this week. So check out one if you haven't. And thank you so much. Bye, everybody.